Crickets.
Hey guys, start screaming for me.
That's funny. Madeline's trying to get Picasso and Red to talk on here. To fill
He's right behind the door.
Space. That's the painting that I gotta send you, is your painting of you with Picasso and Red. It's been wrapped up for like a decade. I don't know.
That's okay.
One of these days, when I have money, I can send it. Unless, somebody wants to, like, the post office wants to sponsor this show, and then that'd be good. Donate to.
Or the postage I send out. It should sponsor this. Or the pen paling that I do.
Yeah, there you go. You're keeping the
See,
post
if I didn't have pen pals, I wouldn't have met you.
Oh, see, that's awesome.
Because it was a pen pal that got me into the online.
I honestly do not know what possessed me to be online. Like, I don't even know how I came across the Speakeasy Jazz Cats. Like, I don't even know how I came across them. I think I was like, what's this Facebook Live business? And then I, like, started watching the videos on Facebook Live, and then I think that's how I came across the Speakeasy Jazz Cats. I'm like, they're pretty good. And then I just went from there. I don't know. It's really weird. I think it is because, like, I had left the vet clinic and I was very depressed because I didn't get to finish my vet tech license. I didn't get to finish that program, and I had to pay. I had to pay on it even though I didn't get my degree. They wanted me to pay back like $600, and I'm like, that's just not fair. That's really not fair. I didn't get my degree. Yeah, I suggest to anybody out there, I'm not going to tell you the college that I went through. I went through an online college because here in the part of Georgia that I am located in, they do not have any veterinary schools. Like, they don't have any schools that you can go to in person without driving, like, I don't know, an hour and 45 minutes away. They may have some in Atlanta. I really don't know. But I had to take mine online, and because what happened with the vet clinic, like the pandemic happened, things happened at the vet clinic that I'm not going to get into, but like I didn't get to finish my program, and so I was depressed and started watching Facebook Lives, and that's how I came across SDF. There you go.
So I guess we were both depressed. That's why we watched.
It's okay. It's okay. Cookie dough ice cream will take care of it. It'll be all right. Oh, goodness. Well, I had a friend not too long ago say that, what do you do when somebody has, like, really upset you and you don't know how to handle the situation and you're frustrated? I was like, I use that frustration and I use it in my artwork. I use the upset and do artwork, and I that's how I take care of it. Like, anytime I get angry, upset, frustrated, I either talk to Madeline or do artwork. Or I write poems, or I do Jamie's thought of the day. I'm always teasing Madeline. I'm like, oh, I feel a Jamie's thought of the day coming on. And then
I'll go out for a walk and pet puppies.
Yes, you have your little friend. That
I have like eight dogs, 8 or 9 dogs in the neighborhood.
Oh, I love dogs. Dogs are great. They're great therapists.
I get my puppy fix. Yeah, they are.
They're great therapists. I don't know how many times Penny's had to hear me complain about stuff. Or Maple and Harlow. They're my cats. They're my therapy cats. If you all are catching the warrior within for the first time, my daughter has had seizures in the past, and she had a therapy cat named Phoenix who got up in age and passed away. It happens, part of life. And so we ended up getting her another therapy cat named Maple. And we keep teasing because we said our therapy cat needed a therapy cat. So we ended up with Harlow. So now we have 2 therapy cats. They're really, really great. Like, they do a really good job with Willow. Like, there's been times that Willow has broke down in tears. She's just, completely distraught, upset about whatever. And Harlow has come and stood next to her and said, basically saying, "Hey, pet me," and Willow will pet her, and then Willow calms down, and then Harlow goes on about her business. She leaves Willow alone, just goes and does what she's gonna do. I mean, animals are amazing. Like, they're amazing. Like, do you think that birds are capable of being therapy pets?
They give me anxiety with their screaming. No, actually, I remember years ago, I've had Picasso for, I want to say 28 years now. But years ago, I had a cat, and Picasso and the cat used to play together.
Oh.
And when the cat passed away, he knew he would be on my shoulders, and he would kind of brush his little head feathers. And my neighbor had stopped in with a card and some pastries she got at the bakery, and she didn't even know that Picasso was there, because normally Picasso, if you go near me, he would just lunge at the person.
Yeah.
But he didn't do. He was just he just stayed on my shoulders with his head just tucked under my chin, and he was just moving his head back and forth with rubbing my cheek with his head feathers.
Oh.
So yeah, they have they have intelligence of like a 4 or 5-year-old.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. Like, I'm not very familiar with birds, I'll be honest. My grandma had a bird for several years, but I never really messed with him much because he would always bite me. He would bite people.
I've got some good bites from these guys.
But that's not saying that birds are bad. I just am not very familiar with birds. That's not something that I'm too familiar with. You ask me about cats and dogs, I can tell you about them all day long because I've had cats and dogs my whole entire life. But birds, not.
Years ago, when I brought 2 puppies home, and 2 days after I brought the puppies home, Picasso gave me 3 stitches in my face.
Oh no!
Jealousy.
Oh gosh,
hysterical. He was letting me know that he wasn't happy with this new family situation.
Yeah, Phoenix, my daughter's cat before these 2 cats, she didn't do well with other animals. She liked Mishima, the rabbit. She was best friends with Mishima. They loved each other. But any other animal that would come, if I tried to bring another cat into the house, she wouldn't have it. She would not have it. She didn't want other pets.
Picasso wants to bite Red. They stay separated.
Oh.
Picasso is not having it.
Oh man. He's got that only child syndrome.
He was the first bird in the house.
Yeah. Oh goodness. Now Red, you just recently got good news about Red, if I remember correctly. You'd been dealing with, some pretty serious medical issues with Red, and you got good news not too long ago.
Yes, he had the coronavirus for 2 years, and now he's in remission.
That's awesome. I was so happy when you told me that. Like, that makes me so, so happy.
Yeah, since he got sick, we've actually bonded a little better. and he kind of like, because he was my dad's bird, even though I've had him for 20 years.
Yeah.
But he was very nippy and just didn't want to. As much as I tried, as I would just leave him alone, but then I
Yeah.
had no choice because I had to give him medicine, and I had to give him needles.
Yeah.
So, but
So, so with him being in remission, do they have to do like yearly testing on him or like do any kind of testing on him to make sure that he stays in remission? Like, how does that work?
I would. They say I do have to take him in, yearly and get blood work. But if the blood work's expensive, but I wouldn't test him again for the coronavirus. I would know if he has the coronavirus. I would
Yeah.
test. I would just get regular CBC on him
Yeah.
just to make sure everything, because his liver and kidneys his numbers were a little elevated because of the medication that he was on.
Yeah.
But I would know what the signs are
Yeah.
if he was.
I'm so happy that, he's in remission.
I
That's
know I was stressed.
like you had went through it with that bird. Like Madeline took really good care of Red. Like you did a really good job taking care of him, and he's lucky to have you.
He's my child. She
Yes.
she she she.
I said he. That's my fault. That's
No, and I said he too. I've been calling him a he all this time, and during this whole process, I had to get the blood test to see whether he was male or female.
oh she.
So, and
she
he's a she.
See, my mom and dad has a cat that they keep calling he, but the cat's a she, and they forget sometimes. The cat's name is Bailey, and my dad's like, he, Jamie. And I was like, no, she. She.
Yeah, I don't know what Picasso is, but I have a feeling Picasso is a she too.
Could
They're
be.
both kind of bitchy, but they are.
Oh, there you go. uh, so,
They're fun to have.
So yes, I appreciate you doing this episode. We've had fun on this episode. It's just an easygoing episode. We're just chatting. Like, the audience is probably like, what are they up to? Like, what's going
I
on?
know. I did my other heavy stuff last time with the agoraphobia
Yes.
and
Every now and again,
Chiari.
you need to have like an episode where you're just
Oh,
chatting and it's easy going.
believe me, Jamie, and I have
Yes.
a lot of stuff that I don't talk about, but
I think that's why I'm going to try to take a break from the Warrior Within, because like I have talked about some pretty heavy duty topics, and I don't mind talking about those. Like I have no issue talking about any topic, but it comes to a point where you kind of need to take a mental break from heavy topics. Like you need to do something else. And the Dark Glitter sessions and Belongs to the Shadows is my something else.
yes.
And Belongs to the Shadows is not for everybody. It's a supernatural show. It's a haunted history show. I tell ghost stories on there, but I'm more interested in the haunted history part of things, and that's what that show is about. I don't usually talk about anything like too gruesome on there. I like to focus on the history.
It's hard to talk about heavy stuff
It
all the
is.
time.
It is. Like it has worn on me. Like, I love this show for what it stands for, trying to help other people, let people realize that they're not alone. But it comes to a point where you kind of got to take a break from it and focus on your own mental state. Because I'm a sensitive person. There have been
Me too.
several of these episodes that I have almost broke down in tears with the guest because, of what they're talking about.
Yeah.
And I just
But
have to try
that's
to
one
keep.
thing I don't want to do is cry in front of everybody. Even though this is recorded, I don't want nobody to see me cry.
Oh,
That's one of my biggest fears.
I have cried in front of people on this show. I don't know how many
Yeah.
times. Like, when I used to do this show by myself and didn't have guests, I would cry. I don't know. Like, I have just cried. It had gotten to the point where people would actually DM me and be like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yep, I'm fine. It's all good. No worries." And a
Yeah.
lot of times people mistake me because I have to crack jokes so that I won't
Yeah.
cry.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Are you not taking the topic seriously?" No, I'm taking it seriously. I'm having to crack a joke so that I don't
Yeah.
bawl my eyes out.
And I'm I crack jokes. I get sarcastic with it. It's just a lot of times when you crack jokes, you're just covering up.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. It's
'Cause-
it's a shield that we wear. It's a mask that we wear to kind of protect ourselves. I've done it.
yeah.
Like, I do it all the time. And I tell people, I'm like, I'm not trying to be insensitive. I have to crack a joke or I'm going to lose it.
I lose it a lot. we all have our little demons that haunt us, our
Yeah.
thoughts, and so forth. But we just have to think of other things
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
And a lot of times it's cracking a joke.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, cracking a joke, or you can do artwork or do music, like poetry. There's like
Or break something in the house.
not become a pyromaniac. But yeah, this world is hard. There's like so much going on in this world, and like the
Yeah.
pandemic just kind of set things in motion, and it's kind of hard to bounce back from the pandemic. It really is. And I know that you can't use the pandemic for an excuse anymore, but it
No.
bounced back from that. Like, a lot of damage was done during the pandemic.
Honestly, the pandemic didn't hit me like it did everybody else because I was already in isolation.
Yeah.
I had my mother and my grandmother to take care of, and I was kind of like stuck in the
Yeah.
house anyway. So that I was used to
Yeah.
being home.
I think it scared me so bad because of my daughter Willow. Like, she'd had lung surgery
Mm.
and it affects the lungs. Um, and I was terrified. Like, any time, because you didn't know much about it. Like, you didn't know what all it entailed. And so, like, anytime we would have packages delivered to the house, anytime we would get anything from the store, I was wiping it down with sanitation wipes because I didn't know what else to do. Like, didn't know enough about
I
it.
did. I didn't.
Uh,
I didn't worry about it.
it was crazy. That's the craziest thing I've been through in life is that, like, and just now, just recently, Willow's went to her first concert, and I still was a little bit in panic mode because she took her mask down at the concert. But everything's fine. It's all good. No worries. She's good. But you still have it in the back of your mind sometimes because you're like, ah. I'm supposed to wear a mask. I'm supposed to sanitize things. You don't know how to handle it sometimes.
No, I didn't go crazy with I think I didn't really think about it too much.
Well, that's good.
Well, yeah, true. I
That's
didn't
a
think
good
of
thing
I
because
didn't think about
I
it too much.
overthought.
I didn't think about it too much because I just lost my mother and my grandmother.
Yeah.
So it's like I didn't really care. I was more like numb from,
Yeah.
my own stuff with my mother and my grandmother that I just didn't really focus too much on what was going on in the outside world.
Yeah. Well, that's true. Like, I think the only reason why I focused so much on it is because I was at the vet clinic at the time, and the way we had to handle the situation made it more, like it stressed me out more in that particular moment because they split us up into teams. And that's
Hmm.
the reason why I left the vet clinic, is because the person that signed off to be my supervisor and the person who was supposed to train me was on the opposite team. But that's a whole other 2-hour episode.
I had to laugh though. Everybody's scrambling for Lysol wipes and cleaners and this and that. It's like,
Yeah.
don't you have any of that in your house anyway to clean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's insane. Like,
See,
I
I was the only one. I was the only one in my house, so I didn't have to wipe. I really didn't wipe anything down. It was just me in the house, so it didn't matter. I went and got groceries. I didn't wipe my groceries. I'm not gonna Lysol my groceries and
no,
put
no.
chemicals out. It's like,
Mm-mm.
just put them away and whatever. It'll go away.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Like it was kind of tough for it's kind of tough for me because I worried about my daughter because of
Hmm.
her lungs, and then my mom and dad, of course. But like, I didn't get COVID for the first time until like I think it was last year I got COVID. That's the first time I'd ever had COVID, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm dying. Like it was miserable, but I made it through it, and I'm fine. Um, but when you don't know about something, it can be pretty
Yeah,
scary sometimes. Uh,
I was fortunate. I never got it.
yeah.
I've never had the flu before in my life either.
Knock on wood. Like,
I know. What? I'm gonna be sick tomorrow.
knock on wood. Hurry up and knock on wood. I don't want you to get sick.
Well, I have enough. It's like
uh,
I didn't worry about it. It's like I got enough health issues. It's like it doesn't matter.
yeah. Yeah.
I figured, if it happened, I I'll worry about it if it.
Yeah.
I
It's,
have this. Yeah, well, if you've anybody that's seen my past episodes, I'm phobic, but
yeah.
I do have phobia of pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
And I know every time I go into the doctor's office, he wants to give me a shingle shot. It's like, no, I'm not. Well, what if you get the shingles? Well, then I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah. That's
I'm
kind of
not. I'm not gonna. I kind of felt like that. Watch, I'll probably get a little backlash now. I
oh
kind
no,
of like. I felt like that with the COVID vaccine too. I didn't get the COVID vaccine.
you're
It's
fine.
like, it's like I don't get the COVID vaccine. I don't get the flu shots. I didn't take the shingle shots. It's like, why take something? Uh, why inject myself with something that I may not get?
Yeah.
There are people that you know got the shingle shots. I know people that got the shingle shots. They got shingles. They got fluid. They still got it. So
Yep.
it's like, I'll cross that bridge when I get there.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
but you're going to be sick. You'll be sick. Well, something. With me dealing with the damn Chiari malformation, that's
Yeah,
that's like death too. So it's like,
yeah. And
I'd rather.
if you all in the audience haven't seen Madeline's past episodes, you need to go back and watch that. You can catch it on Star Raven Studios on YouTube. Um, that's where you can catch those episodes. But she talks about Chiari malformation, and that's, my hat's off to you, because that's a lot to deal with. Like that, I don't. I don't even want to imagine what you go through on a regular basis dealing with that. Like,
I'm a person that's got high anxiety. I got phobias, whatever. But something. I just kind of like get my mind to focus on other stuff. I'll go for my walks. I'll watch something on TV. I'll play freaking Candy Crush on my phone. Or I'll do my drawing. I'll try to write. When I find myself falling into that trap, I try to remove myself. Or I'll pick up the phone and call a friend. Or I'll text.
or you watch Keanu Reeves movies. Keanu Reeves, if you're
Stop it.
watching.
or I'll listen to some Billy Joel. But I do have. I hate to admit this almost every freaking day, but I do have my demons that come out.
Yeah, I mean,
And
we all do. We all do. I mean, there's times that like I get I get upset about something, and I blow up or cry about something that I shouldn't, because I'm not completely understanding the situation. I
mhm,
can't calm down. I don't have a moment to calm down. And, we all have those moments in life, and we all have our demons that we have to deal with
yeah,
like, I used to I used to get really, really hyper about things. I used to get angry easy, but I have worked on that a lot. I meditate now. And my version of meditation is doing artwork. I do sculptures and I do artwork. That's how I deal with it. Or I watch a movie, like, watch some crazy movie that makes no sense.
yeah. Or I try to put in a comedy or something, but
Yeah.
just to escape.
Well, that's what my daughter says. She's like, metal music, heavy metal music, mom. She's like, that'll take care of the stresses. It's a good stress reliever.
Yeah. Or
So,
or or I go out if it's not dark out. I'll go out for a walk.
yeah. And that's good. That's healthy.
And
Like,
I like the cold weather. So
yeah.
if it's 20 degrees out, I'll just bundle up and I'm still out there walking.
Yeah.
But
That's a good
it's
healthy thing to do, is walk.
yeah.
I wish I could do that in my neighborhood, but I would probably get ran over because people don't know how to drive.
Well, people drive crazy. People drive crazy in our neighborhood too. But but I gotta walk. For the amount of chocolate that I eat, I quit chocolate for a few months, but went right back.
See, that would be like me quitting soda. I don't think I could do it. I would go crazy. I
Well, I
always tell
think chocolate is a little healthier than soda, though.
it is. It is. Like, I really need to quit drinking soda so much. Like, it's so terrible to drink soda. But that's like my version of cigarettes. And every single time that I get to a point where I'm not drinking as many sodas a day, something stressful happens. But well, is there anything that you would like to share with our audience before we end this marvelous episode.
Any questions?
Yeah, feel free to ask. I don't care what questions you ask. I don't care. It's all good. And tips are welcomed. You don't have to. Like if anybody wants to sponsor this show, that would be awesome too, but you don't have to. This is just free entertainment for you all, and to help people realize that they're not alone. And me and Madeline wanted to do a sister type of an episode, friends just chit-chatting, because you can only do so much heavy. You need to relax and have fun sometimes on shows. But all right, audience.
I'm never relaxed.
I probably don't help.
Even though this is recorded, I still feel eyes on me.
Oh, they're there.
That's okay. What if you put in the description you're interviewing me, or I'll be on it? Maybe people won't watch it.
Oh, they will. They'll watch it. But thank you all to the audience members for watching this show. Even though it's a crazy episode, we had fun. Just chit-chatting. It's always good to chit-chat with your friends. And I appreciate every single one of you in the audience. Thank you for joining us. Until next time, love, hugs, and blessings.
Glitter.